Seminole County. With almost 400,000 population, the second smallest county in the state of Florida, the #1 education system in the state of Florida. Please, all of our school board members, please stand and let's give them a great big round of applause. Our median income level keeps rising, and we're doing exactly what the president says, more jobs. We've got the greatest county that I know. And it's all about two things. First of all, it's about partnerships, which is truly evident of what occurred since we were here last year at this time, when all 7 cities along with the great county of Seminole County got together and they put together a marketing package and they educated our population at large, and with 72% approval rate, got the referendum passed for the continuing penny sales tax. Give yourselves a hand for that. Orange County, I hope you're listening. And besides partnerships, it takes leadership. And we've got some of the greatest leaders that not only lead with wisdom and knowledge, but they lead with passion. And that's what makes it work. We've got a Texan in the White House, and he's doing a really good job. I got to meet him in 2000. 2000 was a great year for me. And we also have a Texan in Seminole County. I bet you didn't know I lived in Texas for 5 years in the Rio Grande Valley. I had a horse and everything. But I lost that Martha Miller accent somewhere along the line. But we've got a great leader in place. And you know what they say? They say everything's bigger in Texas. But I want to tell them something. Everything's better in Florida. And it's the best in Seminole County. So please put your hands together for a commissioner that got his name from a fellow commissioner, Randy Morris. Put your hand together for Chairman Darrell McLean.
Diane, is that the hat I gave you last year?
You know why 2000 was so great? I have an autographed cowboy hat from Commissioner Darrell McLean, and it says 2000. But I just have one thing to say. I need a black one.
I think I can handle that, baby.
Okay. Let's put your hands together.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to be in Seminole County and be here today with all of y'all. And I want to thank you, Diane, and the Chamber and your sponsoring partners for providing this forum for us to come to you today and tell you about Seminole County and our condition. You know, as a chairman, I would like to take one privilege. We've done a lot of introductions, and there's one very important person here, a VIP I want to introduce, and that's my partner. For 32 years, this June 27th, my wife, Barbara, if you'd stand up. And you know, she likes wildflowers, and she's my favorite wildflower, so I got her a bouquet of wildflowers for Valentine's Day, so I'd like to come down and give them to you. Now, fellas, if you haven't gotten your flowers for your sweetheart, I'd say you still got some time. So when we leave here today, let's get out to that flower shop and take them home, because they certainly deserve it. You know, it's really exciting for me to have the opportunity to stand up here and talk about my hometown and my community, Seminole County, because I do believe it's the greatest place in the country to live. And you know, we have a Board of County Commissioners, and we talked about leadership, and we've got a Board of County Commissioners that I'm very proud to serve with, and I'd just like to take a moment and introduce them to you. First, I'd like to introduce my good friend Randy Morris. Randy, will you stand up, please? You know, Randy's busy as the chairman of the East Central Florida Planning Council. He also serves on the Florida Association of Counties, and this year he is going to be the vice president of the state organization for the East Central Florida Planning Council. So that's how Seminole County leadership is dealing in the region. I'd also like to introduce Commissioner Dick Vanderwide. Dick, would you stand up? He's back at the table with his organization that he's leading for this county, and that's the Metro Plan, the agency for our region responsible for the transportation needs of the future. And it's great to have a Seminole County Commissioner leading that organization for us. Also today here with us we have Commissioner Carlton Henley. Carlton, would you stand up? You know, Carlton has been very involved for many years in Seminole Vision. He's lived here a long time and he believes in Seminole County. And I asked him to represent the county in a leadership position with that Seminole Vision and with our mayors and our city and county leaders to help forge a future for our county. And Carlton, I appreciate that. Our other commissioner, Commissioner Malloy, couldn't be with us here today. You know, Thursdays are a bad day for him. He always tells us he's got to work at his business. And that's what Seminole County's about, is business. Maybe in the future we can change this to another night or another luncheon so that he can join us. And he's out there representing you and our county on the Links Board for mass transit and doing a very good job. You know, what I want to say today is Seminole County is here, and we're going to continue our commitment to quality by being the community of choice, not only for families, but also for business. I'd like to take just a minute, though, and reflect on 2001, because we can't look at this past year without pausing for a moment to recognize the destruction of September 11th. And this tragedy has had an implication on us right here in Seminole County. Mr. Manny Clark, who was a resident of Seminole County, died in the 9/11 attack. He was the supervisor of security for Tower 1 of the World Trade Center, and he came home here frequently to meet his family. And this has placed a greater emphasis on what it means when we say, united we stand. In keeping with the commitment of quality, we must maintain a strong economy here in Seminole County. And the components for a strong economy include revitalizing our economy with economic development, enhancing our ability to serve the community, and continuing to build on our success for the future. Our economic development plan here in Seminole County began back in 1995, and I'm sure many of y'all remember that. It might have been a little controversial, but it's been successful. The goals at that time were to increase job opportunities here in our county, to raise wages, to recession-proof the economy by diversifying the local industry, and to strengthen our tax base. And I believe we succeeded. But however, we can't stop here. We've got to continue moving forward. Job creation in Seminole County has outpaced population growth consistently over the past decade. The private sector employment has grown by almost 47% since 1990. Which means more of us are working right here in Seminole County, and I think that's the way we want it, isn't it? For the period between 1995 and 2000, Seminole County experienced the highest average annual increase in county job growth in the Central Florida region, and that was at 5.8%. And this compares with a population growth of 2.4%. And if we can continue doubling our job growth over population growth, this county will continue to be successful. Our economic development plan, as you remember, has created over 9,000 new jobs with over $39,000 as an average income. And it also has created over 16,000 spinoff jobs. Unemployment for our county in December of last year was 4.5%. And if you compare that to Florida and U.S., we're way below. The whole country was at 5.8, and the state of Florida was at 5.1. We're first in the state in income, median income. Our community here has an average family income of over $48,000. And that has a lot to say about our educational system. So I'm also proud of them, and I hope they can continue doing the good job, and I'm confident they will. And Woods and Poole has recognized our county as a top 10 county for business climate, and that's always good for the chamber, right, Diane? Some of the county's newest corporate citizens that we've seen come into our community are the Bank of New York's Investment Management Services regional headquarters, Publix Direct, Unicel Paper, First US, Fiserv, Veritas Software, and Bright Systems. And of course, I couldn't leave out the Mitsubishi headquarters relocation project, which is the state of Florida's deal of the year. And this is on bring 116 new jobs with an annual salary of over $87,000. Just how much better can it get than that? You know, the commercial tax base in our county has increased by 74%. That's just amazing to me over the last 6 years, from 1995 to 2001. And these new companies are generating $4 million a year and more to our tax base. And since we started our economic development plan, that has put $17 million into the county's treasury. And I think that's a very good return for the taxpayer. And our goal from the beginning was to take the burden off the homeowner, and I think we've been successful in accomplishing that goal. The I-4 economic development success stories include a large number of high-tech jobs, and I've mentioned some of those, but what I want to point out is we've had over $200 million of capital investment here in the I-4 corridor. In all, our economic development program has brought direct capital investment of over $215 million to the county. And this sets the stage for like companies to come here and make Seminole County their home of choice. I'm also proud to tell you that our commission and Seminole County is interested in growing small business too, not just large business, because we all know small business is what runs this country. Seminole County, in partnership with Seminole Community College and the Small Business Administration, has been supporting a business incubation program. And these incubation programs are located at the Port of Sanford. And they have helped 63 businesses start in 2000, and last year 400 clients were assisted by that staff. And I know their director is here today, and I'd like to recognize him, Dennis Dogner. Dennis, are you here? Stand up, please. Thank you, Dennis. You know, Dennis has been working out that port quietly for 27 years, and he's done a super job, and I'm sure he'll continue in that effort. One of his companies that were at the port through the Business Incubation Program was Rainbow Distributors Incorporated. And I'd like to tell you that they were nationally recognized in the year 2000 as an Incubator Client of the Year. And they have now relocated to a whole block in the city of Sanford. So that shows us that that program is working. And there's also plans for us to expand that with another incubator at our Orlando Sanford International Airport. And speaking of the Orlando International Airport, the benefits at that location are a unique blend of local government and a private investment company. And this is the first time this has happened in the nations, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a partnership between the Sanford Airport Authority and TBI Airport Management, Inc. Last year, they served over 1.3 million passengers that flew right into Seminole County here at that airport. And those numbers were an increase over the previous year, 2000, by 60% in domestic travel and 14% in international travel. They built a brand new 125,000 square foot domestic terminal, and they rank it in the top 50 in the world for international travel. These are amazing things that are happening right here in Seminole County. And they're rated as the fastest growing airport in North America by Airports Council International. And they've also been recently designated as a foreign trade zone, so businesses need to take advantage of that opportunity. excuse me. One of the flagship airlines at the airport is Pan Am, and all of you know Pan Am. They've come and gone, but they're back strong right here in Central Florida and Seminole County. Pan Am increased its service and is now offering trips to Bangor, Maine, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Worcestershire, Massachusetts, San Juan, Puerto Rico, Allentown, Pennsylvania, Gary, Indiana, and Washington, D.C. And in the very short term, they're going to start their new 19-passenger Jetstream service to some locations I'm sure a lot of you are interested in, like Naples, Marathon, Fort Pierce, and that all-elusive Tallahassee, ladies and gentlemen, and also Clearwater. The Sanford International Airport has also expanded its service even further this year with flights to the Caribbean, Central America, Cincinnati, and Atlanta, as well as several other eastern and midwestern cities. And I hope all of you consider that airport for your travel needs, both business and pleasure. And I'd also like to mention that it's just not flying out that airport that's important. There's 395 acres out there available for light industry in Sanford and Seminole County. And by extending our roadway around that airport to 46 connecting with 415, we're going to make that airport one of our #1 priorities for economic expansion and job growth. And they've got a great team out there, and I know their president, not director, their president is here, Mr. Larry Dale. Larry, would you stand up with your people and be recognized? He didn't bring his better half with him today. She's at home with the 2 children, right, Larry? You know, redeveloping existing communities are as important as to our quality of life as bringing in new business. And the county continues to recognize that importance. And we will continue to work with cities on various redevelopment projects, including the Winter Springs Downtown Center. What an opportunity there is there for business. And also Sanford's Front Porch community. And of a more formal nature, in terms of redevelopment, are our CRAs, and we have several for opportunities for new business. And that's the Cranes Roost CRA, and I think we're seeing a new building go up there that's going to be about 15 stories. It's going to be the tallest building in Seminole County, and I congratulate them. The Sanford Town Center, the Sanford Waterfront, and the Castleberry CRA. Also, the county worked with 3 cities to form the US 1792 CRA because 1792 is a key corridor to our economic development. And the purpose of the agency is to maintain the corridor's existing assets and discover its hidden assets and to improve and eliminate deficiencies in that area. To accomplish this purpose, private and public partnerships are necessary. And Seminole County and our cities are prepared to work with the private sector and business to accomplish this. And so far, Seminole County government has committed $1.2 million and has been spent in that corridor for improvements. And our county commission has made 1792 a top priority for economic development. When it comes to our financial strength in Seminole County, all these things we've been talking about pay off. Because I'm happy to report to you that both Moody's Investors Service and Standard & Poor's have upgraded the county's bond ratings last fall to the AA category. And that's unheard of in government, local government, and I'm very proud of that. These upgrades took despite the ailing national economy that we've been looking at and concerns for our tourism industry. And we currently rank among the top 5 counties in bond ratings. And high bond ratings, ladies and gentlemen, transmit into dollars saved for our citizens when we need to go borrow money. Now, moving from revitalizing our economy, which I've been talking about, we need to talk about the commitment to enhance our ability to serve our community. Not only is Seminole County keeping its commitment to quality, but we have not forgotten our primary reason for existing, and that is serving the community. And these services are provided in many ways. We are now exploring consolidation with Altamont Springs, many of you might have heard, in their fire and EMS services. What is this going to do for us? It's going to give us cost savings, eliminate the duplication of services, and increase our levels of service to our communities. And based on the success of this proposal, we will be looking to generate additional partnerships in the future with other cities. Speaking of partnerships, we have a great one in our first response system. As well as the Sanford Airport, 6 cities participate in that. And this provides for the closest unit to respond regardless of jurisdiction. So if you call 911, we won't worry whether it's a city or a county. The closest unit to you will respond, and that is the type of service that we want to have in this community. And speaking with Chairman Tom O'Hanlon with the City of Oviedo, he said to me the other day, the benefit of participating in the first response system could result in a better level of service and considerable savings. That tells me we're close, hopefully, to bringing them into the system also. In addressing safety and security, in the year 2001, we initiated our mosquito control program. And all of you remember the scare we had with the virus alerts. And we're going to continue that effort to make sure we protect our public safety and our health. After 9/11, we were more aware of our building security issues and formed a task force for security of all of our county facilities. From 1995 to 2001, we have added 205 additional positions to the Sheriff's Department. And from 1998 to 2001, we have added 27 positions in our Public Safety Department. And we have been able to give them well-deserved and competitive raises, which they all deserve, because we all know our fire and police are our first line of defense. And we will continue to support them and make sure that they are here when we need them. Also, it's important to understand that we are also addressing our water system and the security there, and I'm very happy to report that all of these things are being implemented at this time. I'm sure a lot of you see all these bright lights here, and I'm sure a bunch of you watch SCGTV. That's Seminole County Government TV. And I'm happy to report to you that right now, last year, we had over 87 homes that had the opportunity to use that station. And Randy, I think you've had, what, requests for 3 or 4 autographs? Okay. We've recently added Heathrow. For a long time, they were not available on the system, but we're proud to say that they now are. And this year, we anticipate going over 100,000 households on SGTV. And there's some pretty interesting programming on there. I wouldn't say the county commission's the most interesting, but let me go over a few things we're doing. There's 76, last year we had 76 live gavel-to-gavel county meetings, live coverage of the Florida legislature, now that's interesting to watch, and live coverage of the NASA launches and landings. And we did 60 original SGTV productions, and many of those are excellent, and I encourage y'all to take a look at that. Another thing that we're very proud of that you need to take advantage is our website. And if you're not using it, you need to take a look at it. It's a long website, pardon me, and I won't go over that. I can tell you that if you go on the computer and you just type in Seminole County under search the web, it'll come up on the first page. I did it today. So take a look at that. For the last year, our site has averaged over 3 million hits per month. That's amazing. I mean, 3 million people have hit that site a month. That's the average. And our new homepage is designed to be even more user-friendly because we have menus there for not just residents and visitors, but also business. We've also have access to the links to our constitutional officers. You can get information on the clerk of the court, the property appraiser, the tax collector, the supervisor of elections, and the sheriff's office. A few of the applications that a lot of people are using in the community, especially the development community, are online permitting. Online permit and inspection lookup status. Water and sewer account inquiry is available for all of our people that are on our water and sewer system. And if you want to see how much your property values are raising in this great county, you can also check that. One of the innovative things we've done in e-business in Seminole County is put together our online vendor notification plan. And this is leading edge, ladies and gentlemen. We're the first government to do this. And what this does is it allows businesses that want to do business with Seminole County to register and receive email notification whenever we have something that we need or want to bid on that's pertinent to their business. And this process is increasing the competition for us, which results in dollar savings while improving customer service. And I think you will see Seminole County and e-business will continue to reach out to our customers and citizens. For those that like to still come in and see someone face-to-face on a one-on-one service, we've done a couple of things down there too. And if you haven't been down to the county service building, I encourage you to. We've streamlined our permitting process by reducing the time by 50% to get a permit. And this is being done without any additional staff. And I want to compliment our county manager on that. This program is just getting started, and I'm looking forward to it being very successful. To facilitate the use of these services, the new Customer Resource Center that we provided there gives personal assistance now to customers on how to access any information through the computer on the web right in our offices, as well as complete any of our applications. In a dynamic community like Seminole County, transportation and drainage infrastructure are key components to serving the community. And we heard about it earlier, but in 1991, the voters of Seminole County approved our 1-cent tax for 10 years. And this extra penny was used for transportation projects, focusing on road construction, traffic operations, and transit. And that first year, 10-year period, we had over $357 million collected to invest in Seminole County. And this was to complete 29 projects. And because of the success of that program, the voters approved, as we heard earlier, a second referendum this last fall by 72%. And I'm so happy to know that we've included our schools in there, because we had the wisdom here in Seminole County to know the importance of education, and we will continue to build schools and make classrooms available to keep the quality of life and education of our young people as a top priority. The new 1-cent sales tax referendum addressed the needs that were identified by our citizens when we put this together. And they felt like we needed to continue to create better roads, it's particularly those around our state road system at intersections. If any of you have been to some of those intersections, you all know they need improving. That's where we see the bottlenecks. We needed to fund a better sidewalk program, and we plan on doing that. And as I mentioned, we're going to relieve that overcrowding in our public schools. We anticipate $534 million will be generated over the next years to upgrade 30 of those key intersection and county roadways and complete 37 city projects, because, ladies and gentlemen, this was a team effort, and each of the cities have projects that will be completed that are sorely needed. And we're going to build those sidewalks, which are very important to public safety. You don't know how many children have to walk to school on the edge of the road or in the grass, and we're committed on the county commission to work with our school board to see that that stops. In this 1-cent sales tax, I might add that we front-end loaded the school board so that they could get a jump start and make sure we stayed well ahead. But you know, I think we'd all agree a community is only as good as its poorest families, and Seminole County pays attention to those families also. In partnership with state and federal grants, we've initiated a pilot program to reconstruct dilapidated homes, and I've seen that at work, and it's really doing a great job, and it really makes your heart feel good. In the county, and we're continuing to provide down payment assistance to working families to realize the American dream of home ownership. And this past year, 82 families found that dream and got their home. And to continue meeting our housing needs, a new program is being implemented aimed at our seniors and disabled communities. By the end of this year, more than $500,000 will be spent to improve access and modernize their housing. Also, a significant help to our senior citizens in securing and maintaining a better place to live was the approval of the Board of County Commissioners to raise the senior tax exemption for qualified homesteads properties to the maximum of $25,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't need any seniors having problems paying their property tax, and our county gives them the maximum allowed by law, and I'm very proud of that, and I want to thank the Commission. Also, we hear a lot about health care for seniors and needy people. Well, our Seminole County Health Department continues to expand its services and is providing prescription drug funding and dental services to needy residents, particularly those senior citizens. In an effort to expand our quality of life, many of you are aware of our Natural Lands program. and the county continues to move forward towards preserving natural lands. The original $20 million referendum approved by the voters in 1990 has resulted in the preservation of 5,600 acres. In 2000, the citizens for the county approved an additional $5 million for natural land purposes, and just recently, $1.6 million was awarded to the county by the state so we can partner in purchasing additional natural lands. Significant projects that were opened or purchased this year were the Ed Yarborough Nature Center, and you need to take your children out there and get out in the natural lands. It's wonderful. And the Katie's Landing to open up the Weekiver River to our citizens for that quality of life. And if you're listening to the theme of this whole speech, we keep talking about referendum. Listen, our citizens know what important quality of life issues are, and they're willing to step up to the pump. The county continues towards improving and enhancing our neighborhood parks and creating new parks. Commissioner Henley this year led the charge in a new community park at Kewanee Park, and it's now open to the public. Current staff is working on a partnership with the Sheriff's Department to create the Eugene Gregory Park in the Geneva community to honor Eugene Gregory, a deputy of Seminole County that was killed in the line of duty. Also, we're partnering with Oviedo to create the Winter Miles Park, a 65-acre community park that will have all the elements, including equestrian facilities. But all of this needs to be connected together, and that's where our Trails program comes in. And Commissioner Randy Morris has been very instrumental in making sure that that program has been successful, and I want to personally thank him because it's a wonderful program, and more people every day are using the trails. The trails will connect our natural lands and county parks, and the county continues to move forward in its CLAIM program. Last year, we constructed 2.2 miles of trail, and we anticipate this year an additional 6 miles of trail. And the following year, next year, 8.5 miles of trail. And if you look on the screen, you can see our bridge that will be crossing I-4 to connect our trails for both sides of the interstate. And that will be a gateway to our community as you cross the St. Johns River on I-4. Now, moving from the enhancing our abilities to serve our community, we need to continue to build on our present successes and to be ready for the challenges of the future. And that means meeting growth needs. And Seminole County is committed to maintaining a balance between growth and quality of life. Ladies and gentlemen, we need growth, but we need quality of life, and this commission, I'm telling you, is committed to making sure we maintain that balance. Seminole County has continued to develop as an urban community, as we all know, and the quality of life of its citizens continues to be a high priority as this growth continues. In addressing our community's concern, we now have our new Vision 2020 Comprehensive Plan. And let me tell you some of the things we're committed to doing. We're committing to preserve and enhance the community tree canopy and natural vegetation. We're committed to improving the visual quality of our streets and highways. We are committed to preserving and protecting our neighborhoods. And we're committed to protecting and enhancing the rural areas with standards. And we're committed to encourage and include input from you, the business community, environmental organizations, homeowners associations, and all citizens. And if you watched our meeting on Tuesday night, we had a lot of citizens giving us a lot of input. Some of the things that we're going to need to be doing and you're hearing about is our courthouse expansion. As our population increases, a large county courthouse has become a very high priority. You can just ask any of the judges or lawyers in the room and they'll tell you that's true. The planning and programming phase associated with the construction of the new Juvenile Criminal Justice Center and the renovation of the existing county courthouse is currently in progress. The design and permitting phase has begun, and the construction phase of this project is targeted to begin this year. The project's cost of the new facility and renovations of the existing courthouse is approximately $47 million. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's quite an investment. Another important component of our courts is our Juvenile Justice Center, and work will start on that next month to expand and renovate the current center from 12,000 square feet to 32,000 square feet. And this will alleviate the current overcrowding we're seeing in our Juvenile Justice Center and add new courtrooms and holding areas and new office space for our staff. And I'm sure many of us here today got here on I-4, and you know, I-4 is a big sore subject for all of us here in the Central Florida region. But I do have some good news for us. Our missing link is expected to be completed at the spring of next year to relieve some of that traffic, and through the efforts of our commission and Volusia County and the state, we've started construction on our new I-4 bridge, the bottleneck that's caused many problems for us, and it's expected to be completed in August of 2004. And another thing we're doing to try to relieve the traffic on I-4 is we're working with Volusia County and Tallahassee to expand 415 into Volusia County on the east side of the county so people can access to the Greenway in our airport, and I hope we're successful in that. You know, one of the greatest challenges we have to deal with in the future is the amount of available drinking water. And the St. John's Water Management District reports that our aquifer will support growth for another 20 years. And the county continues to work closely with the Water Management District to find a solution to this issue because there are years ahead of 2020. And one alternative that we're looking at is being able to use surface water. And we are working in a pilot project with the St. John's Water Management District, Volusia County, in evaluating that option. But even more than that, we've got to use more and more reuse water, and the county is committed to providing that to as many customers as possible. And we will continue to be a key player in the issue over water supply. In closing, I'd just like to say that, you know, Seminole County has come a long, long way since its beginning back in 1913. You know, my grandfather was here there, and it was Orange County, and there was only about 15,000 people in this community. And then when I graduated from Seminole High School in 1966, there was less than 50,000. And as Diane has told you today, here we are looking at 400,000 people. But I can tell you that I can still think of no better place to live and work and play than right here in Seminole County, and I'm sure you all agree with me. Our future here in this county is in your hands, the business community. Our government, Seminole County, is committing to being your partner. And I believe seriously and with all my heart that we can continue to grow our economy, improve our quality of life, and raise our families. And if our president was here today, I'm sure he would say to us, Seminole County, let's roll. Thank you very much.